Hey guys, and welcome to our review for Everybody Knows, directed by Asghar Farhadi, starring Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem, as well as a couple other people. We got Ricardo Daran, and we got Barbara Lenny as well, played Javier Bardem's wife. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Adam Franey.
What's up, TIFF? Day 3. Boom, bam.
Third film.
Spanish film.
TIFF 2018. We got Everybody Knows, which is about Laura, a Spanish woman living in Buenos Aires, who returns to her hometown outside Madrid with her 2 children to attend her sister's wedding. However, the trip is upset by unexpected events that bring secrets into the open.
Well said.
So, Adam, you haven't seen any of Asghar Farhadi's films, have you? So this is your first Farhadi film.
No, I hadn't seen any until yesterday.
I've seen The Salesman. That's my only experience, which won the Oscar last year, I believe.
His last 2 films have won Best Foreign Film.
Yes.
Pretty incredible.
A Separation as well. Won the Oscar for Best Foreign Feature. But this film, I think, is very in line with The Salesman as far as tone. Very personal. One might say melodramatic.
Yeah. A little soap opera-y.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Not necessarily a detriment, but it's sort of towing that line of, is it too soapy? Is it, just very personal and delving into those, personal issues? Right. But I will say, starting off, that the performances were fantastic. I thought Penelope Cruz was really good as sort of the, distraught mother role, if you will. Javier Bardem, I thought was really good. His character sort of goes through all these ups and downs, all these reveals and twists and turns, and you sort of see, how his character sort of reacting to these moments. Yeah. And I thought his character went on this roller coaster ride the whole film, and I thought he dealt with it amazingly. As well, his wife, Barbara Lenny, I thought was fantastic as well.
Yes.
She wasn't a huge part of the film, but every scene she was in, I don't know what it was. And she had her own moments as well in dealing with these twists and turns. But I thought she was really good as well. But the film, I suppose, I think overall, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Had me sort of on the edge of my seat. And, I think Farhadi did a great job of sort of setting the stage and sort of, you sort of peel back the layers as the movie goes on, right?
Yeah.
You start off at the beginning of the film, and we're sort of just starting to learn about this family, right? You say, like, okay, that's the sister, we're trying to figure out the relation here. That's the, like, uncle or whatever, or, like, and we're sort of trying to figure out the pieces, and you're like, okay, is there something between Penelope Cruz's character and Javier Bardem? And, okay, but they're both married to other people, and you're sort of slowly putting the pieces together of this sort of familiar relations. Anyways, you're sort of putting the pieces together, and again, the way that Farhadi directs, it's sort of, there is no exposition, like big dump. It's revealed slowly, right?
Right.
And through these
you
little
said it
moments.
perfectly. It's like an onion. Like you just peel. It's peeling.
And eventually, you sort of learn more twists. That okay, there's this financial aspect to it, right? There's this love aspect to it.
And they hit like a bomb. Like every twist, every further twist in the spider's web, the audience would just be like
lots of gasps.
Gasp. Leaves the room.
I will say our screening was at Roy Thompson Hall. This was the North American premiere, and we did get to see Asghar Farhadi introduce the film a little bit, as well as Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem and some of the producers as well.
Yeah.
I will say as well, this is his first Spanish film. He's done mostly Iranian films. He did do a French film, I think, in between the Separation and The Salesman. I believe there was a French film in between.
Interesting.
So he's sort of, trying new things. He's trying different languages and sort of seeing different, different actors and being able to work with different people.
He's got to get to English.
I think it's a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time.
Although he does have a bit of a political issue with America, so we'll see how that sort of fits in. But hey,
Maybe
we're in Canada, so hey, there's always Britain too, right?
Fuck them.
But overall, everybody knows I thought it was a great little thriller, and sort of the first third of the film was not very thriller-ish. It was sort of like, okay, and that's kind of what I was saying, and how he starts off by setting the stage with these characters, and I'm sort of wondering when something's gonna happen. I'm like, something's gotta happen here, and I'm not sure what it is. And I had my ideas of, okay, this is where these characters are sort of, there's where it could be an issue here and stuff. I'm like, okay, the daughter's going off with this boy, like, is something gonna happen with that? I'm trying to figure out what's gonna happen, and then eventually something does happen, which sort of puts the movie in a different sort of gear, if you will.
Yeah.
But overall, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Well, what do you think about it?
I went in clean, like, knew literally nothing about it. Hadn't seen a still, hadn't seen trailer, hadn't seen anything. So I'm thinking, like, this is just like a family, like,
drama or something.
Dramedy. Like, some laughs, some, like, family drama. And then the shoe drops. Can we say what it is? I mean, it's in the trailer.
I think, fair warning, if you haven't seen this film, I think we're going to get into some spoilers, so you've been warned.
You have been warned.
I wouldn't go any further if you don't want to be spoiled, so because we're going to get into it.
I'll say...
I think I benefit from not knowing anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went in clean, like, yeah.
So you've been warned.
You've been warned. Well, I'll start by saying I liked it a lot. In fact, borderline loved it. Thought it was great. Yeah, I did not expect the kidnapping scenario.
Right.
You've been warned.
It's funny that it was kidnapping too, because I think I mentioned about the Salesman to you earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how there's like a kidnapping in that movie too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Really?
Did you say that?
Yeah. And I remembered it when it happened. I'm like, a kidnapping again. Anyways.
Yeah, like Javier and Penelope were amazing. The performances were amazing. I love mystery, like whodunit type movies like this.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you feel like you're Javier Bardem in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, you're going along, he's just trying to help his childhood friend who he had a relationship with, right?
Right.
And then you just get the bomb dropped on you.
Right.
Just a nuke.
A little melodramatic, little saw it coming, a little obvious, but...
Yeah, but still just like, no. And then your mind's racing, like, well, are they doing this to get the money out of you?
And that's the thing about this film, like, the character motivations, everything is sort of... There's so many moving parts to, from day to day, their motivations might seem to change.
Right.
People are sort of coming to the realization, like, oh, is it because of this that, could this person have done the kidnapping because of this reason?
Right.
And, this person is, bankrupt, so they might be trying to, be behind this kidnapping and get the money for that. And, there's this, animosity here, and it could be because of that. And it's sort of on a day-to-day basis, it's changing with these characters. Right. I thought it was sort of cool to try and keep track of all that and try and figure out at the same time who might have been the real one.
Yeah, like I loved how thoroughly it was mapped out.
Mm-hmm.
Every character's motivation, because like you say, like it's almost daily in the movie. Like, oh, was it Penelope Cruz's husband? No, okay, was it the uncle? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was this person. Maybe it was that person. It was just like, yeah. And I thought they did a great. I was worried, like, this is going to be an obvious, like, of course this person did it. But the person who actually did it, I was pretty astonished.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it.
Didn't expect that.
No. And even,
which is great.
And I just love those, like, tense moments of the character coming home and then someone suspecting them.
Yeah, that whole sequence of, like, the mother-daughter thing. And she's, like, looking at the shoes.
Pounding.
I'm just like, oh, she fucking knows.
She knows.
She knows.
Like,
but everybody knows.
Clearly. disgusting. Yeah, I mean, my only real negatives were just like the slight sort of like soap opera-y stuff.
Yeah.
Vibe feeling that it gets into. A little bit melodramatic, obviously, right?
It's hard to sort of deal with those reveals and try so hard to not be soap opera-y because it's like, I mean, it definitely adds to the story.
It does, of course.
And if you don't have that, then it just sort of becomes a little bland.
Right.
You know, like if all that came out of it was that, you know, they were just friends when they were kids.
Right.
And they were just like, that was it. They weren't like lovers or whatever. They were just friends. Mm-hmm. And then the second reveal just didn't exist. Yeah. Right? What would you think of the movie then? Like, it would be like very flat.
Generic.
Yeah. But because we get that sort of different dynamic. Right? And also that later reveal changes the dynamic of the film, right? It sort of spins it. It definitely adds something, but it's tough. It's tough to deal with, you know, how melodramatic those moments are. Yeah. And like, you know, almost like these things, you know, rarely happen in that way in real life. Yeah. That it's like
a cartoony kind of.
But I think to the benefit of the film, I just think the way that Javier Bardem and Barbara Lenny and, you know, Penelope Cruz, I think the way that they acted in those moments, you know, made it better than what it sort of on paper might seem.
Definitely. Like, in being my first, is it Asghar Farhadi?
Farhadi, yeah.
Being my first film of his, like, I was super impressed. I really want to see The Salesman now.
You gotta go back, for sure.
I gotta go back. Like, he's great. He just does these awesome, like, little mystery, drama.
Lots of tension.
Yeah, like, thrillers, like... It's just my kind of those. It's like my favorite.
But genre. for him, it's always very personal stories, which I like.
Interesting.
Like it's not just like a, you know, whodunit kind of thing. Like just like a procedural thing.
Right.
Like, and it's like even the characters say in the movie, like it had to be someone close to them.
There's a connection,
right? And it's just all very personal and very connected, which I think is interesting. Is that, you know, he's sort of examining those dynamics.
100%.
Yeah, I think he does it really well. And like I said, I really enjoy it.
I loved it. We think best foreign.
I think it's got a chance for sure.
I mean, how does it not with the Farhadi director?
I mean, he's been doing great so far. No kidding. I mean, continue the streak. Jeez. You know, it's always tough with best foreign feature because you know the odd foreign film will come out during the festivals and get a lot of buzz, and you never know. You know, like I think The Square was the favorite last year, and you know, Salesman won. So,
Farhad.
You know,
I just mean nominee. I mean, it's hard to imagine something beating Roma when it's getting Best Picture buzz, let alone Best Foreign Picture, right?
So you think? Well, we'll talk about Roma at a later date. But
I won't.
But yeah, I definitely think this movie's got to be in the conversation for Best Foreign Feature, without a doubt. Let's give our ratings. I'm going to start off. I'm going to say light. It's a light 4 for me.
Teetering between heavy 4 and regular 4. Classic. I'll go solid 4.
4 out of 5.
Just a good old
solid flick.
Seen it before, but it's very well done.
Well, check it out. I don't know where it's going to be available to see, to be honest.
Stay tuned for the release date.
As far as North American release, it's probably pretty limited, if at all. But you never know. We might get it on some streaming service, which would be nice. But yeah, definitely check it out if you do have a chance somehow to see this film. Everybody knows. But I think that'll do it for our review. Everybody goes. Let's hope everybody goes to see Everybody Knows. Adam, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Franey25 and on Instagram and Letterboxd at AprilAdam.
You find us as well on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at UpRealLate Podcast. As well, you can find myself, Scott, on Letterboxd at UpRealScott. And if you did enjoy this video, leave a like on it. Leave a comment below in the comment section if you want to join our discussion about it. And subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always, keep it real.